Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. Baby, if you thought the first Jack Frost was a low-budget mess of a movie, you ain't seen nothing yet. Jack Frost 2 looks like something I filmed in my backyard with a digital camcorder when I was in middle school. It looks like a soap opera that gets canceled 3 episodes in. It looks so bad, it wishes it was a commercial for the General. Probably wishes it had the General's effects budget too. Jack's on camera more, sure, but you'll wish he wasn't. His suit is no worse, but the CGI effects? Oh man. And although there are a lot of creative deaths that are actually on screen this time, not a single one of them looks the slightest bit convincing. Still, someone's gotta count them, and since I couldn't find a single other list or video of this movie's body count online, I am pleased to be the first to give you the kills of Jack Frost 2. The movie begins in therapy. We're checking in with Sheriff Sam Tyler from the original, for some reason in widescreen, and finding that he's still real messed up over the Killer Snowman incident from a year prior. We get a decent gag when his doctor secretly puts him on speakerphone, and his eavesdroppers wind up including a construction man and a milk lady? So you know what? I'm already laughing more than in the first one. The crap together title card hits, and at least these opening credits happen over a scene. It's a scene in which a dude, presumably a Fed, has some Snowman townie dig up the containers of antifreeze Jack, cause he's a real cool cat. The Fed shoots and kills the townie off screen, so I guess that's a kill? Don't worry, I won't count this one for dull machete. Let's try to have more fun with that. But yeah, they get the containers and take him to a lab, pouring Jack out into a fish tank and doing science on him. Looks like it's not working out though. Bummer. That's okay, we'll get some serendipitous science with this janitor who walks in, who was actually a background character in the original, and I've gotta say, his weird little background actions got some of the most sincere laughs of the movie out of me when I watched it. He knocks a precariously placed cup of coffee into the Jack liquid, which I guess is all you need to do to get Jack up and running. The fish tank explodes and a piece of glass bisects the janitor's head through the mouth. Pretty decent kill for something this low budget, although fair warning, this is one of the better looking effects in the movie. We meet back up with Sam, who's waiting to leave town with his wife, who, fun fact, is actually named Anne. I mistakenly called her Eileen the entire kill count for the first movie, since the actress's name is Eileen Seeley, and I didn't get a single comment about it. That's how much people care about Jack Frost. They're going on a Christmas vacation / wedding between his secretary Marla and his deputy Joe, and I do think it's pretty fun that all these actors agreed to come back for the sequel. Missing from the reunion is Sam's son Ryan, who's off visiting family who will maybe teach him how to cook without car chemicals for a nice change of pace. Their vacation is at a tropical island resort staffed by the spitting image of colonialism. In charge is Colonel Hickering, a wonderfully campy character who's prepped and ready to scramble for Africa, and Bobby, his irate bartender and overall assistant. They watch as a safari truck full of future victims unloads, which includes 3 teenage girls, a pair of models and their photographer, and our heroes, the returning cast. Bully! Now we're on a lifeboat, I guess, where 2 shipwrecked fellas named Dave and Charlie are arguing over who gets the last carrot in the cooler. The scene is campy and extraneous, but it is interesting to see monster makeup man Doug Jones in a role that doesn't involve hours of prosthetic work. Their argument becomes a fight, which ends when Dave chucks Charlie into the water. Charlie disappears, and Jack lets us know he's dead.
1 down, 1 to go.
Damn, that may be the single biggest ripoff of a kill I've ever covered in one of these movies, man. No scream or nothing. Dave's not far behind, getting impaled through the bottom of the raft with an icicle. Doug Jones does some pretty decent aw shit I'm dying acting, with some good blood spittle and everything, but we must never forget the way a kill like this should be portrayed. Jack washes up on the island to show off his newfound abilities to both sense where Sam is and move via carrot. All bets are off for this one, people. He spots a party going on that's apparently sponsored by Asahi.
I'll have an Asahi. Ooh, Asahi sounds good. I'll have an Asahi too. Make mine an Asahi.
And Asahi knows how to get a party bumping. What with the Congo line, this dude's birdie flap dance, and Marla's Snow White hands. And to top it all off, the annoyingly hyperactive steward of these festivities, Captain Fun! Captain Fun and his equally annoying alter ego Activity Boy harass Sam about his case of the Mondays and boot up the karaoke machine so they can, oh, what, now the party's over? Okay, cool, fuck it, I don't care. The sorority sisters are hanging out on the beach waiting for some dudes to show up, and for some reason, those idiots are running late. So late, in fact, that the fire begins to die, so Ashley gets up to go get more charcoal? You don't put charcoal in a hangout campfire, what? Jack's somehow up in a tree now because fuck it, and he starts dropping icicles towards Ashley to stab her, but they all miss. How's he doing this again? He finally gives up and drops a real fake-looking anvil on her, which crushes her to death. Sure, it looks terrible, but at least they actually pan down to show us the body. That's a step up in my book. You know the drill by now, folks. Paisley wanders off to go see where Ash is, finds the body, and gets herself killed. She steps back onto an icicle Jack sprouted from the ground, then falls and is impaled by more icicles through her torso. And again, at least the movie is willing to show these deaths, for better or worse. Finally, Jack's disembodied voice begins taunting Rose, jumping all over the place to confuse her.
Where are you?
Maybe I'm here. Maybe I'm here.
becomes a full snowman off screen and takes her tongs to stab her in the eyes with. 30 minutes in and we're already at Scream 1 level kills. Not bad, JFU. The next morning, Colonel Hickering and Bobby hear a scream, and it turns out some featured extras found Ash's body. Or, you know, what's left of it. That was a person. Hickering buys off the hotel guest Silence with some free room service, then asks Bobby to get the head of island security.
Oh no, not the scary dude.
Yes, the scary dude.
Scary dude's already here.
Hold up, pause. I'm sorry, that entrance is the best thing I've seen in at least 4 movies now, so can we please watch it again?
Scary dude's already here.
Cool. And it turns out Scary Dude is actually Agent Manners from the first movie, played by a new actor, David Allen Brooks, who's having a blast in the role. When Sam winds up at the crime scene, he catches Manners' name, which prompts the ex-FBI agent to explain how he needed reconstructive surgery after the Jack attack at the end of the original. Hey, at least they offered some explanation. Elsewhere on the island, gay stereotype Greg is having a photo shoot with model stereotype Sarah.
Someone tell me I'm not a genius.
Greg, you're not a genius.
Joke, Sarah. Remember?
When he wants her to get a bit more nipply for the shoot, she asks for some ice cubes to rub herself down with. Disembodied Jack gets real excited and somehow becomes the ice in the cooler.
Oh yeah, I'm the man.
And so, like, part of him gets chosen to be stuffed down Sarah's top? It's pretty weird, but kind of funny. And you know what? It's not Snowman rape, so points to Jack Frost 2 over the original. Sarah's final request is for an iced coffee that she takes the cubes out of and chomps down on. And that somehow hurts the partition of Jack, who is the cube? I don't know. Another little Jack cube says, "That's it!" And so, by some convoluted logic, Sarah's head explodes. I have no idea what to think of Jack's ability to be everywhere and in different cubes of ice and stuff. Honestly, at this point, I'm just along for the ride. Jack goes full snowman as he rises in front of Greg, then kills him off screen while his camera captures the moment. Greg's death disproves once and for all the notion that carrots are good for your eyes. Sam hears Greg scream from a distance as his group and those featured extras are shooting arrows at the archery range, but his crew thinks he's just being crazy pants Sam again and leaves. Then we get another legitimately funny scene between Manners and Sam, with Manners telling him to meet him in 10 minutes for something really important.
If it's so important, why don't you just talk to me about it right here?
I have to pee.
When they meet, Manners explains how the FBI fired him since nobody would believe his killer snowman tale. So he and Sam bond over that. Aw, that's nice. Manners says he has someone to help them out, but it turns out to be friggin' Captain Fun, goddammit. Also, hold up, what's that black bar doing on the right side of the frame? That's not me or my editing, that's in the movie, and it happens a few times. What the fuck's going on here? Anyway, El Capitan's plan is to lure Jack out into the open with an island party! A costume party, to be exact, where Sam's dressed up like a hippie. But that's just a disguise. He ain't actually been token, so he's sober as a stone when he hears Jack talking. Sam runs out of the party to chase his voice. Hey, how about another legit funny joke?
Sam's got a runner.
Why are you talking to your watch?
Old habit.
This movie's way better than the first one. Jack finds a carrot on the ground and then freaking pwns this dude in a snowman costume with an oar. Turns out it's the Colonel? Yeah, right. Colonel's neck would have been snapped by that swing and a hit. Hickering's pissed and yells at Sam and Manners for, wait, why are these people just hanging out in the kitchen? What are they doing there? Really? Everyone goes to bed, so it sounds like a great time for some gratuitous nudity. The other beach model, Cindy, apparently unperturbed that her squad's been missing all day, steps outside for your usual public swimming pool midnight skinny dip. After creeping on her from afar,
Wouldn't mind practicing a little breaststroke myself.
Jack uses his arbitrary snowman powers to freeze over the pool, causing a legit scary death. Cindy is trapped underwater and bangs on the ice to get out, but the only thing out there is Jack in his first full-bodied appearance of the film. Cindy sinks down to the bottom of the pool to drown, and I mostly feel bad that the last thing she saw was this shitty fucking snowman costume. Jack grabs America's favorite Japanese beer, tasty delicious Asahi, and creates a few cold ones for his boys. He in fact freezes over the entire tiny tiki set this movie's been using, including a chick who's sleeping there. Is that a lifeguard? Just a rando? I don't know, but wouldn't she have been there when Cindy was skinny dipping? So, you know, that's something to think about. Sam wakes up cold and discovers that Jack didn't only freeze the movie's resort backyard set, he's actually frozen the whole island. This is one powerfully magical mutant killer snowman, yo. Everyone's having a great time with the snow, throwing that shit all over the place, and leaving Sam to be the only one concerned about the crazy weather change. He makes the OG characters retreat to his room, much to the disappointment of Marla and Joe. You guys know you can do stuff on your own, right? Sam's not your boss down here. The two cute idiot boys that those girls were talking to are fucking around with a frozen pole, testing the veracity of a Christmas Story physics. After Dean is all myth confirmed, Ben wanders off to check out babes, leaving Dean in a real vulnerable spot. Wouldn't want a mutant killer snowman to come across you like this, dude. Too bad that's exactly what happens when Jack's white oven mitts reach out and grab Dean's head, then pull it back to rip out his tongue, leaving it stuck to the pole to never taste coconut rum again. Now Jack straight up crashes the party and kills a ton of people. He knocks that featured male extra's arm off, which sprays the featured female extra down with blood that's a bit too chunky there. Then he kills a few more in quick succession. There's Snowball to the mouth guy, Icicle to the the dome dude. Also, hey, Hanna-Barbera crew, you didn't notice the pandemonium going on before that? Icicle to the gut lady, oversized icicle to the torso guy, and finally, to cap it all off, the featured female extra. We get a better look at her body a bit later. Here you go. Some other people get attacked, but nothing I'd consider fatal. But altogether, it's enough to give Sam pun TSD.
It's another holly jolly Christmas.
Actually, quick note, like a general one, that's not a pun. It is a joke, but a pun requires wordplay, like a double entendre, just so you know. Sam goes up to another snowman and is all, the power of antifreeze compels you. But that snowman's too good looking to be Jack Frost. Nope, Jack Frost is this lumpy fuck in a costume that's more mobile than the original movies, sure, but still is just fucking weird looking, man. And then he CGI dips out. And hey, guess what? There's more weird shit coming. There's like a whole nother thing to this movie, just wait. Manners joins the party, and they're all ready to caulk themselves inside their room until Anne insists that the other guests have to be warned. What, about the murders they just saw? Yeah, I think they already know, lady, but Manners and Sam still volunteer to go do it.
Looks like it's you and me, Manners.
That's Agent Manners.
While they're out doing their buddy cop routine, Joe posits the theory that since Sam had some open wounds when he and Jack had their wet and wild antifreeze wrestling match, maybe their DNAs got mixed up. Or maybe, as many commenters pointed out last week, Sam should be fucking dead, since he was just swimming around soaking up antifreeze into his bloodstream. It must be the day when they were doing all their kitchen shoots, because Sam and Manners come across the rest of the island staff hunkered down in there. Sam gives them the Jack Frost Wikipedia summary, and Bobby lets him know there's a shed on the island full of coolant that they can use to stop Jack. As they enact their plan to set a trap for Jack, Captain Fun reminds us all that he's the worst part of this movie.
Snow Angel!
But after he's done farting around, they finish the snowman booby trap and Sam waits out as human bait, while the others hunker down behind boxes and bottles of Asahi, the most reliably drinkable beer in the hemisphere. Jack shows up, and since his stupid fucking suit can't shuffle up any stairs, he falls straight into their secret coolant pool, and starts turning into melted ice cream. Hey, at least now they've got a foam pool for their parties. Sam's high five is left hanging while everyone has a premature celebration that ends when Jack pops back up and wipes himself off, saying that he's new and improved. Turns out the antifreeze hurt him, but didn't kill him. In fact, I think he's playing by Gremlins rules here, because he ends up puking out a little snowball that will eventually come alive. But first, Jack's hilarious reaction to his spit up.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Back to the snowball, which the survivors are heating up in a saucer for science! It finally begins to hatch into a kinda cute little Colgate blob, who quickly sprouts an icicle horn that it puts in Captain Fun's eye. I gotta admit, with his first act killing Captain Fun, this little snowboy is already one of my favorite characters. He chases the rest of them around the kitchen, making little stitch noises, which continue as he morphs into CG and recovers from a blender attack.
That was fun!
Manners comes across a metric fuckton more of these snowboys, and a late radio warning from Anne can't save him from his inevitable fate. He tries to leave the shed he's in, but the snowboys bite off his fingers and give us some nice spurting blood effects. Then they all swarm him in a group attack. The little snowboys successfully take down Manners, splashing blood all over the place and wrapping up his death with one final Manners cue. Rest in peace, scary dude. Sam's crew is still fucking around with the CG snowball, who's auditioning to voice work on Mortal Kombat.
Toasty!
Higher pitch, dude. Sam's checked out entirely and has become a shell of a person since the antifreeze didn't work. So Anne suits up in a DIY Iron Man costume to head out and kill herself some snowboys. They've gone full Gremlins with their fun and games, doing little snowboy Congo lines and drinking the most delicious and refreshing beer in the world, Asahi. Oh, and also nomming on people parts. I don't have enough info to say how many bodies this is, so I'll just add one to the count, because I think this undersized bikini bod is supposed to be a new victim, and we'll leave it at that, okay? When Anne gets to the snowboy party, it looks like they're all gone, and instead she finds this chick named Amanda who gets a face full of snowballs which pummel her and knock her behind the bar. She doesn't come back out again, so God, is that another kill? I guess I'll give it to you, Jack Frost 2. And shit, man, I guess I have to count these other 6 guests who pop up from behind the bar under attack from more snowboys. They run off before we see anyone killed for sure, but I think by the logic of this movie, those people probably died. Ugh, I feel like this kill count needs an asterisk next to its number or something. Anne winds up killing one of the snowboys when she tosses a mixed drink on it, which causes it to blow up in a nasty bloody mess. Bobby tells her the ingredients of the drink inside, and when shell-shocked Sam mentions he wouldn't be able to have it because he can't eat bananas, Anne comes to the conclusion that maybe when their DNA mixed,
Jack inherited Sam's banana allergy.
they tested and the theory holds true, so they start ripping banana peels off like they're grenade pins and mix up a special brew to load into their super soakers. The sequence that follows is set to a slow trumpet rendition of Tap and has enough dissolves to crash Adobe Premiere. And oh hey look, it's the bodies of those people from behind the bar. I was totally right to include them. I know how to kill count. When it's all over, there's only a single surviving snowboy left, who's gingerly picked up by Jack's oven mitts. Yeah, hey Jack, where the hell were you the past 20 minutes of this movie? Maybe if you'd been around, all your puke babies wouldn't have died. Oh, but now he cares about the kids he's neglected.
Now it's killing time.
Jack, it's always killing time with you. You're a mutant killer snowman. During the cleanup from the Snowboy massacre, Colonel Hickering gets a surprise icicle through the back of his head, which kills him in a fun and unexpected way. Yeah, it's jolly good then. Bobby is the next to go when, like, a flying Jack arm slits his throat. Not sure with what, but you know what? We're in the home stretch here, and we just need to wrap it all up. Joe and Marla realize it's after midnight and thus their wedding day, so Joe kisses the bride, only to be interrupted by Jack. Oh no! They run into the freezer, leaving Anne alone in the kitchen, so she gets trapped by Jack putting up a bunch of snow walls. Then he turns it into a little ice chokey with icicles popping out of the walls to get her. He starts to contract, and Anne decides to go out with some frickin' savage taunts.
You should have heard your baby scream, Jack. You should have heard him scream.
Damn, man, that's ice cold. You'd think she was killed when he becomes a CGI snowman again, but nah. Sam snaps to for whatever reason and shoots some bananas into Jack's torso, causing him to explode like he's in a Gushers commercial. I'll include Jack on the list because a third movie is unlikely after the actor who plays Sam, Christopher Allport, died unexpectedly in 2008. And I'm not making light of it, but it's crazy ironic to me that he died in an avalanche. Wow. Rest in peace, man. The kitchen is left looking like a frat house foam party gone terribly wrong, and after a bit of Sam crawling around in this bloody banana-flavored foam, Anne raises her hand and she and Sam embrace in victory. Gotta hand it to these actors for being willing to do shit like this. They walk off towards the ocean, and the ending credits play next to a weird little vignette with purposely poorly dubbed over Asian fishermen who yell Godzilla as a giant carrot falls on them. Wow. None of it makes sense, but fuck, man, I guess I'll include them on the count. After the credits, there's a stinger where Marla calls out from behind the freezer door, but look, people, I'm not including her and Joe on the list because, call me an optimist, I think they'd get rescued in time. Also, because if I did include them, this would pass the Mist for most kills in a kill count, and none of us want this movie to have that honor. Its kills are numerous enough. I'll show you at the numbers. Right after I finish refreshing myself with the universe's #1 rated beer, Asahi. 33 people died in Jack Frost 2, I guess. My list of victims includes 19 men and 14 women, which is one of the more balanced gender ratios we've seen in a while. At a runtime of 93 minutes, that's a kill on average every 2.82 minutes, which, yeah, that's a new record. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Colonel Hickering. Manners and some others made me pause, but I just love the suddenness of this dude getting a giant icicle coming out of his mouth. Dull Machete for lamest kill has tons of options, but for non-off-screen deaths, I'll give it to those fishermen. It was obviously filmed in a bathtub, and the joke isn't even that funny. Like, what the fuck's going on there? And that's it. Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman was released in 2000, once again written and directed by Michael Cooney. Obviously, it's a crappy low-budget movie, but I found it more fun than the first one. Next week, we're looking at a bona fide classic with the original Black Christmas. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching my kill count for Jack Frost 2. Insert long title here. Got a lot of patrons to thank. Shoutouts to Cameron Mouser, Stephen Carter, Mark Sanchez, and Snazzy Adam. If you want to get in on those patron rewards, just click that button right over there. In fact, patrons right now are voting on the next big franchise I cover. Don't worry, we're done with B-grade horror movies for a while. I had a lot of fun doing them. I don't know why some of you are complaining. See you next week.